in science in general, purpose and value seem to be talked about, at least in the social sciences and management sciences. But then as science reduces down to psychology, to biology, to chemistry, to physics, it seems as if purpose and value are done away with entirely, to the point where they say there is no such thing as purpose or value in the physical universe. You take a different view, don't you?
Well, there's a perfect good reason for leaving out purpose, because it doesn't have any explanatory value. And I'm familiar with it, for instance, in patents. You can't patent the purpose to fish or the purpose to fly. You can see why. It's ridiculous. But if you show a device by which you could fish or fly, then you can patent that. So purpose is out so far as describing a patent is concerned. And it's rather similar in science because it doesn't have any descriptive value. Now, as for, well, value, that's a different thing again. I think that science does deal with what corresponds to value. Do you want me to take off on that? Or?
Well, in the physical sciences, you mean?
Yes.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that, because so often science says we are value free, that anybody can replicate an experiment regardless of their religion, their race, their creed, their color, because values don't enter into physical science.
Well, that's has to do with the methodology. In other words, you must be objective. You can't put your hand on the scale. You can't bias the results. It has to be value-free in that sense.
In sociology, there's a big argument that says that that's impossible, that nobody is really value-free.
Well, it is possible to make an experiment without putting your hand on the scale.
In the physical sciences, it is.
In a literal sense. But that's quite a different thing from saying there are no values in nature, or that the world doesn't. You see, to me, value is not objective. I think everyone would agree to that.
Yes.
And that's one reason it's left out of the scientific method, because the scientific method has to be objective. But that doesn't mean that the things you're dealing with are entirely objective. I mean, how could everything be objective? Then what is the meaning of projective or subjective? It has to be one to be the other.
Well, perhaps we could just define these terms as you use them.
I use the word projective to get away from the personal. The word subjective implies that it's in a person's head or in their feelings. But what's subjective to you is not objective to me. I can see your face, I can see your suit, but I can't see your feelings. Your feelings are something you alone feel. But that doesn't mean they're not subjective to me. My feelings are subjective to me. So the more general word is projective. I can say your feelings are projected by you and my feelings are projected by me. Projected in the sense that your feelings, if you feel badly, then everything looks gloomy.
So I might describe the world about me by projecting my internal reality out.
And that wouldn't help if you were doing experiments. You might even foul up the experiments just because you were feeling fouled up yourself.
I mean, in principle, scientists are not supposed to do this.
And let's say that's a good goal. But that doesn't mean that reality doesn't have this projective aspect. And where it appears in science is with forces. Now, of course, science deals with forces. But let me take you off a little bit now.